Hello, in this video we are going to learn CloudWatch resource in AWS. CloudWatch is a monitoring service in AWS. By using CloudWatch, we can monitor all the AWS services as well as applications which is deployed by using EC2 service. And CloudWatch mainly monitor the infrastructure, application of metrics like CPU, memory, etc. In CloudWatch, we have features like metrics, alarms, dashboards, logs. Let's discuss one by one. First, I'm going with metrics. Metrics are like getting the information in the form of bars, graphs, pie charts, etc. In CloudWatch, we can see that metrics for many services. For example, utilization of CPU for EC2 service. Next, alarm. We can set alarms to get notification according to the metrics for the particular resource. Dashboard. We can create dashboard to watch the metrics. Logs. CloudWatch collect application logs. Logs define about applications even when an application deployed via EC2 instance also. So let's see these features in AWS console. I'm going to open my AWS account. In search bar, I'm searching with AWS CloudWatch. Yeah, CloudWatch. This is the CloudWatch console. Here we can see the dashboards, alarms, logs, metrics. Now let's see practical how CloudWatch works in a project. First I am taking with metrics. Let's learn hands-on like how CloudWatch works. Here I am going with one example, that is to monitor the CPU utilization for EC2 instance. For this, I will create a EC2 instance and I will show that how CloudWatch monitor the EC2 instance of CPU utilization. Let me open my AWS account. I am going to create one EC2 instance. I am going to launch one instance. This is the instance which we launched recently, so still it is in pending stage. I'm going to refresh the page. Here we need to see 2 by 2 checks passed. Up to that we need to wait. Yeah, state is running and waiting for status check. Now we can see that 2 by 2 checks passed. For this EC2 instance, we are going to monitor CPU utilization. So here we can see that monitoring. Click on monitoring and scroll down. Here we can see that CPU utilization and percentage like this. Let's get into CloudWatch. Now I am going with metrics. Here under metrics, I am clicking all metrics. Here we can see that resources EBS, EC2, logs, S3, SNS usage. Like this, we have many services under CloudWatch. So I am going with EC2. I am selecting per instance metrics. I am searching for recently created instance, that is AWS CD. Yeah, here the instance. After clicking here, we can see data table, stack number, bar pi. We can see information in various visualizations. Meta token. I am going to EC2. Selecting the EC2 instance. Not this one. Here I am selecting manage detailed monitoring. Here I am enabling this feature. Click on confirm. This is the CPU utilization percentage. So let's get back to CloudWatch. I am going with metrics. Click on EC2. For instance metrics, I am selecting that EC2 instance here. Yeah, now we can see that AWS CW. Earlier I didn't enable that feature, so after enabling that feature I can see all the features here which we need. I'm going with CPU utilization, so I am selecting this one. Here the visualization in the form of line. So I'm changing this data table. Here the minimum utilization is 0.17%, maximum 0.27%, and average 0.22%. Like this we can monitor CPU utilization for EC2 instance. We can change visualization bar. We can go with bar and pi, like this. I'm selecting data table. I'm familiar with this feature and this visualization. To bring some changes here, like minimum, maximum, some average values, I'm going to install some softwares in EC2 instance for the CPU utilization. So I'm going to EC2 instances. Now I will connect this EC2 instance and I will install some softwares to increase the CPU utilization. I'm downloading some softwares. I'm installing Git Maven software to show how the readings will change in CloudWatch metrics. This software consumes some CPU utilization, right? For that, I was doing this. Yeah, it's done. Let's back to CloudWatch and metrics. EC2 per instance metrics. This is the instance, and I'm going with CPU utilization. Yeah, we can see that readings are changed. Now it is like 2.84. So maximum 8.1%, minimum 0.17%, and average. Now let's discuss about alarm. So I can set alarm like for this EC2 instance, if CPU utilization cross 30% or 40%, that time I want to get one notification. So for that purpose, we are going to create alarm. Here click on create alarm. because to get notify if my CPU utilization was going high, that time I want to take care of that. So for that purpose I'm going to create one alarm. I'm going to select metric EC2, again per instance metrics. I'm going with CPU utilization. I'm selecting that CPU utilization and click on select metric. Here I'm taking for every 5 minutes. So I need to monitor that CPU utilization. Here I'm going to give percentage. So I'm going with 60%. If my CPU utilization increases 60%, I need to get notified. So it is like greater than or equal to 60%. I'm going to select next. Here we need to create SNS, simple notification service. This is also one of the service in AWS. I'm going to create new topic. Topic name notify. Here we need to give email. If we give mail here, we will get notification for our mail. Click on create topic. Then select next. Here we need to give alarm name. I'm going to give like CloudWatch alarm. Like this I'm going to give next. I'm going to select next. This is the visualization. I set limit as 60%. Period is 5 minutes. We can see that namespace like AWS EC2 and metric name, instance ID, and conditions we given 60% greater or equal, and alarm name. Here we can see that actions when in alarm send a notification to notify. I'm going to create this alarm. This is the one we created. Here we can see that insufficient data. Okay, like this we can create one alarm. So now I am going with dashboards. We can see directly the visualization of the CPU utilization here by creating a dashboard. So I am going to create one dashboard. Dashboard name I am going to give CWD CloudWatch dashboard. I am giving random name here. Click on create dashboard. Like I am selecting data table. Click on next. I am selecting the instance and CPU utilization. I need to monitor CPU utilization for this instance. So I'm creating a widget. I'm saving this. Here we can see that we successfully created dashboard for EC2 instance of CPU utilization. Here we can see that the values minimum, maximum, sum and average. Now average is 3.18%. Earlier we saw that something 2 point some percentage. Like this we can create dashboard. Now I am going to see that metrics. See, like this we can see that for 1 hour, 3 hours, 12 hours, one day. So we can change the visualizations as well. Bar, pie, like this. This is about metrics and how CloudWatch monitors the one of the EC2 instance of CPU utilization. And we here we cover the topics like now here we cover the topics metrics, alarms and dashboards. Like this we can create, we can see metrics. So based on the metrics we can create alarms, and based on the metrics we can create dashboards as well. This is the basic information about CloudWatch. If you have any queries, please reach out to my Instagram page. I posted my Instagram page in my YouTube channel bio. Thanks for watching.